Hello, Pewter people. Scott Reynolds here with another Pewter Pulse. One of the most popular and most talked about Buccaneers this offseason is a player that may not even make the team. No, I'm not talking about 400 plus pound undrafted free agent defensive tackle Desmond Watson, although he fits the criteria. I'm talking about another undrafted free agent, Shilo Sanders, the Bucs safety out of Colorado. He's quite a phenomenon. I don't think that some Bucs fans realize just how popular Shilo Sanders is and why there's so much interest in him. And that's the topic for today's Pewter Pulse video. I'll get into Shiloh in just a moment, but first, a reminder, hit the thumbs up button on this video, give it a like. Also, leave a comment, which I love to read. I love reading your comments. When you do those two things, it helps our videos get out in the YouTube algorithm and find more awesome Bucs fans like you. Also, please go over to our YouTube page, Pewter Report TV. Hit subscribe. It's free. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers. You can help us get there. Okay, I'm in the business of giving the Pewter people what they want. So let's talk about Shilo Sanders, shall we? This is the third Pewter Pulse video I've done on the son of Hall of Fame cornerback and Colorado head coach Deion Sanders since Shilo Sanders became a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after the draft. My first Pewter Pulse video touched on my surprise that the Bucs signed such a larger-than-life personality, and I questioned whether he would be a good fit in such a tight locker room where everybody in Tampa Bay kind of toes Todd Bowles' company line. And my hope for Shiloh was that he would come in focused on football rather than on social media now that he was leaving Deion Sanders' orbit out in Colorado. My second Pewter Pulse video, which received over 20,000 views, detailed the great first impression he made, and not just on the Bucs players and head coach Todd Bowles with his play on the field, but also the great first impressions Shilo Sanders made with the media when he took the time to shake hands with and introduce himself to all of the reporters at his first press conference, including yours truly. In my 30 years of covering this team, no other Bucs player has made such a calculated and smart and welcomed move like Shilo Sanders did that day. Now, if you don't realize how popular Shilo Sanders is, let me tell you, he's more popular than any other Bucs rookie on social media, including first-round pick Emeka Egbuka and second-rounder Benjamin Morrison. Just how popular is Shilo Sanders? Well, consider that the Buccaneers' official Instagram account has 1.6 million followers. And Baker Mayfield, the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback from a blue blood college program like Oklahoma, who was the first overall pick of the draft back in 2018, and he went to a storied franchise like Cleveland. Yes, the Browns used to be good back in the day, way back in the day. Well, Baker Mayfield has 1.5 million followers, almost as many as the Bucs themselves. Well, meanwhile, Shilo Sanders, the son of Deion Sanders, well, he's just an undrafted free agent who spent time as a backup at South Carolina, and then went on to become a starter at Jackson State and then ultimately Colorado. Well, Shilo Sanders has got 1.2 million followers on Instagram. Shoot, future Hall of Famer Mike Evans, a 12-year NFL veteran in Tampa Bay, well, he only has 707,000 followers on Instagram by comparison. On YouTube, the Bucs official YouTube account has 246,000 subscribers. Sanders, who does a couple of videos each week, has 195,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's about 50,000 fewer than the NFL franchise for which he plays. Sanders did a recent Tampa food review episode in June that has over 200,000 views and counting. On Twitch, which is another streaming platform, Sanders has 76,000 subscribers. Mike Evans, who would regularly stream his Fortnite gaming, has nearly 21,000 subscribers by comparison, which is about 55,000 fewer than Sanders. Now I'll say this. The Bucs don't care one bit about what Shilo Sanders does on social media, as long as it doesn't interfere with his football. And you probably feel the same way. You might not care about Shilo Sanders and what he does on social media and how many followers he has. I mean, Todd Bowles isn't on social media. He doesn't care about it. And Jason Light is on social media, but he signed Sanders to be a safety, not a social media influencer. I recently did a Pewter Pulse video on how rookie safety J.J. Roberts, another undrafted free agent, is the Bucs' super sleeper on defense heading into training camp. Roberts was given more guaranteed money than Shilo Sanders was, plus the Bucs had a draftable grade on Roberts, who was brought in for an official 30 visit, where they didn't have a draftable grade on Sanders, and he didn't come in for a 30 visit. Plus, Roberts is being cross-trained at free safety, strong safety, and nickel, where Sanders is probably just going to be either a strong safety or a free safety and cross-trained at both of those spots. So for Shilo Sanders to make the 53-man roster, well, he'll likely have to beat out J.J. Roberts and or Kayvon Merriweather as a reserve safety behind Antoine Winfield Jr. and Tyke Smith, and really the number 3 safety on this team, who's Christian Izien, just due to his versatility. It's not impossible, perhaps just a bit improbable right now that Sanders does that, as he'll have to come from behind in the race up the depth chart in training camp. But, it's not impossible. But that's what training camp's for, right? To evaluate players once the pads come on, because this is tackle football, not flag football. Sanders is a hard hitter. And if he can be a sure tackler in training camp practices, and they don't really tackle and wrap up and take him to the ground, but they come in at the right angle. If he can do that and show up in the preseason games as a good tackler, that's going to help his cause. So will forcing a fumble or two in August, as well as picking off some passes in practice and in the games as well. That's only going to aid his cause. If Shilo Sanders winds up making the Bucs, his popularity is going to grow. He's a very likable dude who is already winning over his teammates. If Sanders really shows up and shows out in August, he'll win over a lot of Buccaneer fans in the process. And his follower counts on social media, well, they're only going to go up. Hey, our social media audience is growing thanks to you, Pewter people. You've really helped our Pewter Report TV channel grow. As I mentioned before, we're on the way to 20,000 subscribers, and we should hit that sometime during training camp. But you can help us get there sooner by going over to Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel, hitting subscribe. It's free. That's where you can find my Pewter Pulse videos, our Pewter Report podcast, which are 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday in the off season from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then you can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Pewter Report, and visit pewterreport.com, the mothership, for all of the breaking news, inside scoop, and analysis you need on your favorite team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'll be back soon with the new Pewter Pulse.